Hi everybody, this is Autism Talks, and today we're going to talk about something that has to do with autism. Now, it's not autism awareness. No, that's in April. I've got something planned for that in April. Well, yeah, okay. So anyway, as I was saying, so you know how this is gonna be hard to explain to you out there. You know how sometimes you've got kids who have sort of like special needs and stuff, and sometimes you hear your mum and dad on the phone and you have to say, disability stuff because that's, for like, I'm talking about like more like money and NDIS stuff and, stuff that when you have special needs children, you got to, yeah, it's kind of confusing, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, so for me, like I've accepted myself for who I am, that I'm autistic, a little bit, not a lot like my brother. He's very severely autistic, stuff like that. But what I guess I didn't realize about myself is the fact that, I always consider myself as the label because when your mum and dad are talking on the phone to NDIS or anything to do with the government or anything, they actually have to use disability. And that kind of actually makes me a bit, this is so hard to explain. I'm trying the best I can. Okay, so for me, I'm not really severely autistic. So when someone's on the phone to someone, they're actually talking more about my brother because he needs help. The difference between my brother and me is that I'm a little bit autistic. And that you can do things and stuff like that. But my brother is severely autistic, so he can't actually do things, make toast, I can make toast and crack a cheese and stuff, stuff like that. So there's a fine line between like, you're a little bit autistic, but some people are very severely autistic, So I just want you guys to remember that even though you have autism, it's not going to stop you from doing anything. Like if you're severely autistic, yes, it will. Like my brother won't get a job. He won't move out of that. Yeah, my brother won't even, because my brother's very severely autistic, and I can do things like I can go places, I can, purchase stuff, stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is don't consider yourself autism because of the label, And what I mean by the label is that some people kind of actually consider being the autistic label, which you shouldn't because, like for me, like I am a normal kid, but I just have problems with things that I don't understand. Like, but I am a normal. Let's be honest, this question is normal, but this is just an example. I am a normal kid, kind of, and I shouldn't really consider myself to be as a label just because my brother considers himself as a label because my brother is very severely autistic. I'm repeating myself again, but it's actually true. So like I said, don't consider yourself as the label because that's not who you are inside, and it's just a thing that you have to kind of cope with. It's nothing bad, but you just have to cope with it. So never consider, the option that you're just autistic because that's not who you are inside. Who you are makes you you. Your personality makes you you. Your quirks make you you. Your ideas or creativeness or anything that you like doing is part of who you are. And I don't think people should actually consider themselves as the label. I mean, sure, some kids are under the label, but some kids like me shouldn't be under the label because, deep down inside, we are human beings, and also too, we're not average normal kids like the ones texting on their phones, going to parties and stuff, like, but you shouldn't consider yourself to the label just because you're a little bit autistic. It doesn't matter. Like, scratch that out all away because, no matter who you are, it's you who makes you you, and it's your parents who makes you you too. So, just remember, just because, some people say disability doesn't mean they're actually talking about you. They might have another sibling, like my brother PJ. You might have another sibling who's severely autistic or has something else in common, and that's why they have to use it. But for you, they don't have to use it because, you are, in your mind, you might think you're a completely normal person, which you kind of are in a way, but, don't consider yourself ever to the label, because the label kind of makes, think that you're more different than you are. And look, we are all different in many ways, but don't actually, make your whole life up because of the label, because that's not who you are, and it's not, it's not who you are, but it's not who you are because of who you are, some stuff might happen in the past or anything, but that doesn't change the fact you're just a normal human being like others. And just because you have something doesn't mean it changes you forever. I thought, my entire life, I thought I was cursed or being different, and I kind of accepted that. I was different, yes, but I haven't actually considered myself accepting myself without the label, because the label's always going to be there no matter what, because it's, I have autism or Asperger's, but the label's always going to be there, but you can't consider being the actual label underneath, because there's a fine line between, you got the spectrum. I'm not sure what you know about the spectrum, but you kind of got gotta kind of draw it out for you guys. So you kind of got I don't know which end it is. You kind of, let's just say this is the high bit and this is the low bit, okay? So this part is where you're severely autistic, okay? This part is where you're severely autistic, like my brother. And this part is where you're a little bit autistic, so kind of thinking like that, because, for me, I can talk, I can do things, I can read. I know some people that I know can't read, but, that's okay, because people have different strengths and weaknesses. So, just think of yourself as a human being who's in the world, trying to live a life, just don't consider yourself as a label just because someone else does. I mean, maybe I do it is because my brother is severely autistic and I actually don't consider the fact that I'm not like him. You know what I mean? Because it's hard because, it's not just me. I do have a sibling of mine. I might have to show you in a live stream or something what he looks like, because he's taller than me, and I've talked about him so many times, and not so many times, but, in and outs. And, maybe because I consider myself as autism and my brother's severely autism, I guess I kind of follow that, but you really shouldn't, because, like I said, that's not who you are. It's not that creates you, life creates you, life gives you challenges, that's actually real life as we speak. But don't consider yourself as an actual label, because that's just wrong, and you're going to think your whole life that you're entirely different than anybody else. No, you're not. You're completely different. Yes, I understand that, but you shouldn't consider yourself to that, because, I'm trying to, even though I am a normal teenager, I've got to figure out that I am normal. I don't have any, well, I do have issues and stuff, but they're not really big issues. I think someone with big issues, big issues. Let me see. If you see someone in a wheelchair, that's a big issue for them, because they can't actually walk and they can't actually go to the bathroom or actually do stuff or capable. But you are capable to do things, to go to the bathroom, that as an example. So you're all capable of doing that by yourself without anyone's help. But people who are not just severely autistic, but severely, I'm not sure if there's actually such thing as severely Asperger's. But if you are severely Asperger's as well, you can't do things. I'm talking about severely, not autistic or a little bit autistic or a little bit Asperger's, but I'm talking about severely now. Because there are some things that people can't do. If you're stuck in the wheelchair, for example, you can't actually do things. You can't actually, walk or, do things. You have to have not a carer with you, but you have to ask people to pass you stuff because you can't do it by yourself. That's what I meant by that. But, there are all different things out there that people have, and no matter what you think about yourself, don't deny that you're under label, because there are so many. The label does exist for a reason, but you shouldn't be under it because it's just so wrong. And of course we are not a part of, but the spectrum, of course, you know. And you shouldn't be a part of the spectrum either because, you know, it's just weird how people say that, I still hear things about disability, and it's like, there is so much more to just a disability, like there are elderly people, there are other things that people have got that we actually don't know about. So don't actually consider yourself under the label because really you're not. You're just an average person trying to live a best life that you can ever be. And yeah, it's who you are that counts, So that's all I've got time for, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe to Miles Monks, and I'll see you guys very soon.